Okay, so today is the 7th. I'm going to write in the planner first today. Please check off if you studied last night. Check it off if you didn't. Some of you didn't because I saw your homework. Please don't check that off. If you completed the homework, check it off. If you watched the help video, check it off. Thank you, baby. Okay. Check it off. Tonight, you need to make sure, yes, there is a homework help video. Please watch it. Guys, go to Canvas. If you are not on Remind, then you're not getting the message that I'm sending it. So your first defense needs to go on Canvas and get it. Either you sign up for Remind like you're supposed to, or you go to Canvas and get the video. Okay, so again, our homework for tonight, we need to make sure that we study. We're studying literal equations. We have our review quiz Thursday, okay? Because our test is on Friday. Please review literal equations. You're isolating the variable by using inverse operations. And then you need to study exponential functions. We're going to do the study guide tomorrow, okay? We're going to do the study guide tomorrow. It's a short day, so that's all we're going to focus on is the study guide. Okay? Any questions? Make sure that you complete the homework, and there is a help video. The help video is on Canvas, or it'll come to you and Remind this afternoon. But if you don't get it, go to Canvas, please. All right. Okay, the agenda is on the sideboard. Okay. We've already written in our planner. I may quickly go over the warm-up just to make sure that you've completed it properly. And it's right there on the edge. Do you see it? Yep, that's it. You're welcome, baby. All right, so you are going to, we're going to work on word problems today. So I'm going to model the word problems on compound interest, growth, and decay. So we're just going to do word problems, okay? If we have enough time, we'll go back to our groups and finish up the group work on word problems. All right, quickly, warm up. Guys, please don't forget the things that we've already covered and talked about, especially dealing with linear functions, because that's a huge part of your test, okay? It's linear functions. Linear functions, exponential functions, and quadratic functions, which we're doing towards the end of the quarter, okay? That's a huge, huge, huge part of your test at the end of the year. All right, so we're going to use the graph to answer the questions. We're going to find the slope. In order to find the slope, you pick two good points that you can read. Okay, I can read this point right here. It's in the intersection. Okay, and can't read that one, but I can read this one. These two are good points, so I can count rise over run. I already know that my line is going down from left to right, so my slope is going to be a negative. I'm going down 1, 2, so that's -2. And I'm going over 1, 2, 3. That's +3. So it's -2 over 3. That's my slope. My y-intercept is where the line crosses the y. Parker, please sit up, baby. Where the line crosses the y-axis. It crosses the y-axis right here. What is this number on the y-axis? -2. So B is -2. My y-intercept is -2. So to write an equation in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, I write this as what? How do I write this? Y is equal to what? -2/3 x minus 2. Okay. All right. And so you should be able to do the second one completely on your own. I'm only going to give you like 30 seconds, and then I want you to take out these half sheets that we did on yesterday, these two right here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds to finish up problem number 2, and we're moving on. Okay. Let's go ahead. Any questions about the second one? Yes, baby. Come up here, sweetie. It's one on the table. All right, let's put this in our folder, please. I was gonna do some problems from the homework, but we had 50% of us that didn't finish it. So I don't want to go over any of those problems until you try it the first time. Okay. And then I'll go over some. All right. Please watch the homework help video because I did go over problems in the video. I went over a lot of them in the video. All right. Please take these two out. We finished writing in them. So we want to paste these down in our notebook. I'm going to go over again very quickly with what each mean. This is simple interest here. And remember, simple interest is the money charged for borrowing money, or it could be the money that you get off your investment. Simple interest. It's only interest that's occurring one time a year. It occurs annually. It's simple, and that's why they say it's simple interest because it's only occurring one time. Compound interest, on the other hand, is occurring multiple times in 1 year. That's why they call it compounded. It may be compounded monthly, which means interest is being charged on a monthly basis, 12 times in a year. It may be quarterly. That means our end or interest is being charged 4 times a year. Biannually, compounded biannually is twice a year. Compounded semi-annually is also twice a year. Okay? Any questions? Weekly is 52 weeks in a year. Any questions? All right. We got A, which is the final amount, or Y. They just use a different letter. It's equal to P, which is the principal, or the starting amount of money for the loan, or for the amount that you're putting into an investment account. This right here is the common ratio, 1 plus R over N. That's the common ratio. Why, Miss Reyes, are they dividing? Why are they dividing R? Okay, because remember, interest is being charged a certain number of times a year. If it's compounded biannually, N is 2 times, so you're dividing it by 2. If it's compounded quarterly, N is 4 times. That means you're dividing by 4. Any questions? 1 is 100% written as a decimal. Any questions about that? All right, real quickly, I want to show you something in the calculator while we're on 1 being 100. Okay, let's suppose I'm going to give you this scenario real quickly, and I want you to type this in the calculator, please, to see if you can come up with the answer. All right, let's suppose that everybody in the Mama 2 want a game system that costs $500. So type in $500. This is how much it costs. But they're going to go up 25%. Okay, so it's going to go up 25%. So the first thing you need to do is figure out what 25% of 500 is. So you're going to multiply 0.25. It's going to go up 25%. So let's figure out what 25% is. Okay, when I do that, I press enter, and what do I get? So this is how much is going up. But this is not how much you have to pay total. What's the total amount that you're going to pay? And what did you do to get 625? You added the 500 to it. Okay, you got to go back and add that 500. So this is the amount that you're actually going to pay. You had to do 2 steps to figure out the amount that you're going to pay. All right, what happens then, Miss Reyes? 100% of 500 is going to be 500, right? So let's add the 100% plus the 0.25%, right? And what does that give us? Okay, and now let's multiply that times the 500. Let's take this and multiply it times 500. What does that give us? That's 1 step, okay? That's 1 step. That's what they're doing with this 100%. So instead of doing 2 steps, having to add it back to the original number, they're just doing the 100%. Any questions? All right, cool beans. The next, and my book is falling all apart, Lord. is the it to the nt power. N is the compounded amount, and T is the number of years. We already filled out the example. Let's make sure that we have the, I need to tear this apart so I can put this, paste this back together because this is a mess. Okay. All right, so let's do this part. I'll staple it after I finish explaining. All right, so we should have typed this in. So let's type this in. We're going to do this together to make sure we have it right. Okay. First thing we type is the 3,000. Please do this with me so you'll know how to do it and you won't have all these, issues, okay? This is calculator active. So you'll be able to use the calculator with this, okay? So type in 3,000. Anybody not there? Everybody should have 3,000. Yes. For what? Type in 3,000. We'll go back to the paper later. Come on. Type in 3,000. All right. Parentheses. We're going to type in 1 plus, and now we have this fraction, 0.045 over 4. So we got 0.045 divided by what? 4. Close the parentheses. This goes in the parentheses, okay? Order of operations is going to do this part first and then add the 1. That's fine. Now we got raised to the 20th power. So we're going to do caret key 20. Now, y'all, folks, if you put caret key 4 times 5, it's only going to raise the 4 and then multiply the 5. That's not what you want to do. If you don't want to multiply this, then you need to put it in parentheses. So the calculator will multiply it first, okay, before it uses it as an exponent. If not, it's only going to do 4 as an exponent and then multiply the 5. And that's not going to give you the right answer. Any questions? So that's why a lot of times you'll see I'll just multiply it and put in 20. Okay? Press enter. And this is the amount of money. How many spaces behind the decimal do we use with money? 2. So this is going to be 25 cents. So our final amount that's going to be in our account is going to be that $3,752.25. Okay? And that's what you should have written. Are there any questions? I'm going to pause for the calls to give you a chance to write. Okay, good folks. In your notebook, you should have this sheet. I don't think you finished the sheet. I finished it with 6th period, but I didn't finish it. I finished this side. You all should have this side completed, but you were supposed to do that other side with your group. This is going to be page 11. If you're not finished, that's okay. You just need to put page 11, exponential word problems. Page 10? Hey, page 10. What's this? Do you see it? We did the little half sheet. Yeah, you do. Remember? The little bitty sheet that I printed for you? Please find it and put it on page 10, okay? Please find that and put it on page 10. The little half sheet, growth and decay. It's that. Mm-hmm. You should have finished it with your group, but some people didn't finish it with your group. I don't know what you was doing, but you didn't finish it. All right. Yes, baby. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, number 11, page 11 is exponential growth word problems. These were the word problems you did with your group. Please paste this down in your notebook. If you're not finished, you don't have to paste till you finish, but you need to write the title on that page. I'm going to pause for the calls. Page 11, exponential word problem. All right, I'm going to say it again. This is page 12, y'all. I'm recording this time. I don't know. Page 12, simple, because I did that one first, didn't I? Simple, and that's the and symbol. Compound interest. Yep, baby. I'm going to do mine this way, okay? Because the compound interest one is kind of long, so I'm just going to glue it like that. All right, so glue those in. Pause for the cause. Okay, so now we're going to do some compound interest word problems, okay? We're going to do some compound interest word problems or exponential growth. Same thing. Compound interest is always exponential growth, okay? All right, so here we go. Trying to get it to clear. There we go. That's a little better. My goodness. All right, so we already know the formula for compound interest. That's the formula that we're going to use. I'm going to write it a little bit bigger up here. We have the final amount A is equal to the principal or the starting amount times your common ratio. The common ratio is 1 plus R over N to the NT power. This is your equation or formula for compound interest, where P is the starting amount of money or the principal. 1 is the 100% written as a decimal. R is the percent written as a decimal. N is how many times interest is being charged or compounded amount per year. And then again, N is the same. These two numbers will be the same. And T is the number of years. If they put it in months, you need to convert months to years. Questions, comments, or concerns? Okay. All right, so let's do it. Let's write it because y'all might forget. We got final amount. We got principal or starting amount. We got 100% written as a decimal. We got the percent written as a decimal. We got the compounded amount. How many times interest is being charged within a year? That's this too. Same number. And T is the years. If it's in months or days, you need to convert to years. All right, so I'm going to pause for the calls. It says a coin had a value of $1.17 in this year, 1995. Its value had increased, so it's increasing by 9% per year. Okay, what is the value in 5 years? There's no compounded amount, so really you could just use the regular y is equal to c parentheses 1 plus r, okay, to the t power, because there's no n. Because even when n is 1, that's going to be the regular equation, okay? So you can continue to use this if you want to, or you can just use the regular c parentheses 1 plus r to the t power. It's the same amount. It's the same thing as this because we don't have an n, okay? What's the starting amount here? What's my C or my P? What's my C or my P? The starting amount. 1.17. Okay. What is my R? No, not 9. 0.09. Remember to go from a percent to a decimal. Locate the decimal. Move the decimal how many times? 2 to the left and drop the percent sign. So that's 0.09 or 9 hundredths. What's my T? What's the amount of years? 5. It's 5 years. So to figure out the total amount, okay, we got in 5 years, we got y is equal to times plus to the what power? Fifth. Even if I divided this by 1 and put a 1 here, it's going to be the same thing. There's no point in me using this formula because there's no compounded amount. There's no n. So if there's no compounded amount or no n, you could just use exponential growth. All right, so let's type this in and see what y is equal to. You're going to type in $1.17 parentheses or times, 1.09 caret key to what power? The fifth power. Forgot my caret key. And what does that give me? What's wrong, baby? Does it work? Okay, fine. So how much money is that? So it's only going to go up to $1.80 after 5 years. All right. Any questions about the first one? I'm going to pause for the calls. You have them. Okay, number 2, it says Gina deposited $1,500. That was the deposit into account. That pays 4% interest, compounded. Now we have an N. Compounded quarterly. What is the balance after 2 years? Okay, so now we're going to use the compound interest because interest is being charged more than one time a year. So we're going to rewrite A is equal to P parentheses 1 plus R over N to the NT power. So what is our final amount or our Y? What's our P or our C? Meaning the same thing. What's the starting amount? 1,000 or 1,500, 1,500. What's our R? 0.04. Remember to convert 4% into a decimal. Locate the decimal, move it 2 places to the left. Ooh, Jesus. What is our N? No, 4. It's compounded. That's okay, baby. Compounded quarterly. Quarterly is 4 times a year. Okay. So N is going to be 4. And for how many years is this investment or account? It's going to be for 2 years. They want to know how much is going to be in there in 2 years. So now we're going to substitute these values. We got A is equal to 1,500 for P. That's the starting amount. Parentheses 1 plus point divided by 4 and raised to the what power? 8. How do we get 8? We get 4 times 2. This is what gives us 8 here. How do we do 4 times 2? Because it's to the NT power, baby. N times T. Okay. So now we are going to substitute this in. We're going to go ahead and type it in the calculator. Are you ready? So you don't get this wrong. This is calculator active. Please make sure that we type this in correctly, okay? We got 1,500, 1,500 parentheses. We got 1 plus 0.04, right? Divided by what? 4. Close the parentheses. We got caret key to what power? The 8th power. Okay, so we're dealing with money. We need 2 spaces behind the decimal. How much money is the final amount going to be after 2 years? $1,624 and about 29 cents. Okay, about 29 cents. So I'm going to put the squiggly lines for about. Squiggly lines is about. Okay. Any questions? I'm going to pause to give us a chance to write. All right. Number 3. All right. Let's look at this one. Let's see. What would be our P? What would be our R? What would be our N? What would be our T? See if you can do this on your own. And why am I saying that this is going to be an N? Is there N? How do you know? How do you know that there's an N in this problem? Compounded monthly. All right, I'm gonna pause for the calls. So let's check to see what we have. All right, so in this particular problem, there's a savings account. We all know we don't make much off savings accounts, so you know this is all fictitious, right? All right, so what's the starting amount for this account? 12,000. Raise your hand if you got that part correct. Okay, so we're good at identifying what the principal amount is. Okay, so what's our percent? What is the percent? Very good. So we're going to write it as a decimal, 0.035. Good job. Raise your hand if you got that right. Okay, perfect. And then what is the N in this problem? 12, because it's compounded monthly. Good job. Raise your hand if you got that right. Okay, so we're getting that part right. And then how many years do they want to know what's in the account? How many years? After 3 years. So T is 3. So we're going to write the formula. A is equal to P parentheses 1 plus R divided by N to the NT power. So let's substitute, okay? All right, Mason, we got A is equal to, what are we going to substitute for P, babe? 12,000. So then we have the parentheses 1 plus, what do we substitute for R? 0.035. Very good. Divided by what? 12. Raised to the what? Third power. No, not what else? It's supposed to be in. 3.5. No. What's in? 12. 12. And what's T? 3. So it's 12 times 3. Oh, 30. Okay. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. Okay. All right. Is everybody all right? So let's make sure we're typing this in correctly. Figure out how much money that is. What's the final amount, or what's about? All right. So we got 12,000. We got parentheses 1 plus 0.035 divided by 12. Close the parentheses and then raise it to the 36 power. Y'all got it? So about how much money is this? About what? We got to be able to say that. 13,326. Very good. And how much money? How much cent? I'm sorry. 49 cents. So it's $13,326.49. This is about how much it is. We're rounding to the nearest cent because we're talking about money. Say again, baby. What says zeros? Tell me. You only need 2 spaces. We're talking about money. So you only need 2 spaces behind the decimal. So since it's 0, this stays the same. If it was 5 or greater than, we move up 1. Yeah, you got 0, 5, 1 afterwards. So you still got to round it. All right. Keep it moving. See if you can do 4 and 5 on your own, please. Let's see what we have. All right, y'all. Okay, so determine the amount of interest earned. All right, so we do have a compounded amount. So we're looking for our P. What's our P here? 2,500, 2,500. And what's our R? 0.052. Very good. And 525, sorry. And what is our compounded amount? N? It's 12. And what's our T? It's 4. All right, let me pause here real quickly. Okay, so now we're going to write the formula. A is equal to P parentheses 1 plus R over N to the NT power. Okay? We substitute. This is going to be A is equal to 2,500 parentheses 1 plus 0.0525 divided by 12 to the 12 times 4 power. All right, let's put our calculators back. We'll continue to work tomorrow. Word problems and study guide. Word problems and study guide. One on my desk.